It's been ages.
It's been a while.
Hi guys.
Hello. At least since you and I sat together and had a
Welcome to Beer Bubbles.
bubbliest podcast in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
Yeah, Guinness Record World Book Shadada says it.
Guinness Book of what the fuck?
Exactly. It's a new one. 2024. How have you been, CC?
I've been good. It's been summer. I've been working. You've been off.
Or you? I only had 2 weeks.
3, haven't you?
2.5. It was midsummer week. So we automatically got off a few days.
I've got 1 more week of work and then I'm off.
Nice. Me too.
Oh, you're off again?
Yes. For a few days at least.
So, well, it's...
Well, I'm in the reins today because I am the one asking you questions today.
Yeah.
It's the idea because season 1, so to speak, because it hasn't been going for a year, of the beer club, Akkurat's beer club is over. And you're starting season 2 very soon.
Well, it's going to start in January, but... and
January?
Yeah. It's just
So
been
late.
a summer break. We just started... Well, it's been a month of a break,
okay,
and
so
then we're going to keep on doing
all
season
right,
1.
mid-season. So it's mid-season. Okay. So how was the start of the beer club? The first meeting was insane.
It was definitely insane. I never thought there was going to be so many people signing up for the beer club, especially when they didn't know anything about what was going to happen.
It was pure chaos that day.
108 people signed up before we even started. And the first meeting was, as you say, kind of insane. There was 10 of the coolest Swedish brewers here showing up their stuff. They got 2 minutes each.
Yeah.
And I think everyone was kind of blown away.
And getting everybody a beer was quite the hassle because it was people everywhere.
Yeah, but people, even those who, because I told the brewers to come with 1 beer each. I think it was Television who came with 8. But it was fun, and everyone got to try almost all the beers. To fit 108 people up in the restaurant with 56 seats was interesting, so to speak.
It's the only time I've been wearing a suit to work.
But I must say also, what I'm really impressed by is that there's so many who's booking the meetings now.
Yeah.
It's not just a one-off thing. People are actually... I tell them the dates, and a month in advance, people book up for the meetings, which is really cool.
How many have you had now? Is it 5 or 6?
Well, January, February, March, April, May, June, nothing in July. So 6 so far, and now in August is going to be number 7.
Yeah. Before we go into what you've done during the meetings so far, because there's some pretty cool people being there.
Oh, yeah.
What was the idea behind the beer club and why now? Because Akkurat has had a whiskey club since forever.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we had a hard time to get out all the information about what's happening at Akkurat. And the Akkurat Beer Club is actually a information club. So these meetings are there for people to interact, meet new people, meet each other, but also to know what's going to happen next month at Akkurat. And I've started to work more with in-house events to get like Akkurat activated so that people realize that things are happening at Akkurat all the time.
Exactly, and that this has opened up the opportunity to have more open beer tastings, or so to speak, the cooler beer tastings with you had the breweries coming here and doing like a brewery themed tasting.
Well, when people know it actually occurs, it's easier to get people to come for them.
That's true. But I'm getting thirsty now, aren't you?
Yes, I am, but you are going to work today, so I don't know how much you can drink.
No, but it's 3.5ers.
Yeah, we got some samples from, what's the name of the brewery? Beach
Mountain Brewing.
Beach Mountain Brewing.
Session Pibble Pilsner. We have also a Citra IPA session.
Yeah.
So Pilsner is 3.2% and the Session IPA is 3.5.
And this is actually one of the members of the beer club who came in with to give us these samples. It's Christer. And I actually chose the Pilsner and the Session IPA because I had another lager as well, but
this is easier.
Yeah, well, it's two different kind of beers. And as we said, this is 3.5%, so it is actually legal to sell in shops in Sweden, normal shops, not just the Swedish alcohol monopoly.
And drink before work.
And since Rasmus is working, really low in ABV, so he can still work at the bar afterwards.
Yay.
And let's see what we think about these.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Well, I can drink that all day.
Definitely.
That's really nice.
It has a bit of crispiness to it as well.
It's kind of a modern Pilsner.
Yeah, it's a little bit hoppy.
Yep. Pivo Pilsner, Session Pivo Pilsner, actually 3.2%.
Yeah.
These we got to check out a bit more, I think.
Yeah, lots of flavor for just being 3.2.
Per Strandberg is the name of the brewer. It's brewed on Väddö in the Swedish Stockholm archipelago. Yeah, this is... these little things that we do is actually really good for us because that's the time we have to check out new stuff, that we get samples as well in the restaurant. So that's why we're trying these now. But going back to the beer club, the meetings, I've tried to make every meeting as interesting as possible. So for every meeting I've had a guest, basically. Mostly some of the importers or our partners when it comes to delivering beer. Excuse me, it was kind of bubbly. Hey, beer bubbles.
Hey, bubbly.
So they've come here and shown off their products a bit. We've had Spivey, we've had Brill, we've had who else? Well, Hop Notch Brewing was here as well.
Brewer International.
Brewery International was here. Yeah, that's them, I think.
I'm trying to remember.
Kill me if I'm wrong here. There might be one more.
Apologies to those involved.
And it's been absolutely fantastic. And because of this, we've gotten out to our members that we do special tastings with different breweries as well. So Närke has been here. That tasting was phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Fjäderholmarna was
strong.
Quite heavy, I heard. People talk about it like, oh, the last 4 beers was like 14 ABV. I'm like, oh shit, really?
Well, of the last 4 ones, the weakest one was 12.5.
Oh yeah.
And the strongest one was 14.5. So people were happy when they left.
Yeah.
And not because they got to leave. But
they finally got to leave. Then you had Ole Olov here as well.
Oh
right?
yeah. That was really cool. Ole came here and actually brought a beer that is not in existence. It was kind of a special thing.
Was he standing by the empty kegs or something?
Well, he found a barrel that one of his interns had moved to the bottom of a pile, and he thought it was empty. And then when they did inventories 2 years later, they found it and he realized it was full of beer. So he filled up a 10-liter keg for us that we had during this tasting. And that ended up being 2 tastings in one day.
Yeah.
Because it was so many who wanted to come. It was absolutely amazing. And if you look around, this is where we do our tastings, in our cuvée basement. So we can't fit more than 24 people in at the same time.
It will be very hard to get everybody beers if we had more people than that in here.
Yeah, we couldn't have had the first meeting down here.
No, no, definitely not. People will be inside the fridges and making room by throwing out the beer. But what was the beer that he brought? The 10 liters.
Oh God, what's the name of it? Arctos. Was
the 2021 version, right?
Something like that.
Or 2020.
Oak matured for 2 years.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It
bananas.
was fucking delicious.
Crazy. Yeah,
I tried it amazing 3 times, I think. Snooze intermission.
Yeah. Intermission music. Really nice beer, this one. Should we try the other one? Well, when you're done with your snooze. Nicotine pouches. Slave under the vice.
Under the governmental taxes.
Oh yeah. It's not cheap being a nicotinist in Sweden nowadays.
No, definitely not. Thank God the EU didn't go through with the snus deals they had. But enough about snus. It's a beer podcast.
Yes.
Before we try this one, you're gonna think about the next question because you did something cool this summer with the beer club. I couldn't join because I was down in France. We'll get to that later.
Oh yeah,
soon.
we'll get to that beer later.
So the 1st of July, the 1st of July, you went to Uppsala Craft Beer Festival.
Yes.
Which I fucking sadly missed second year because the first year was amazing.
We were there last year.
Yeah, we were. And this time he brought the beer club and he didn't have any equipment, so that's why there's no podcast coming out.
The equipment was in France.
Yes. You probably heard that interview. What was the idea behind that? How did it turn out? Was it a lot of people? How was the day? Because we haven't talked about the 1st of July.
Well, I spoke to Connor, who's our contact at Uppsala Brygghus, who runs the Uppsala Craft Beer Festival. And I got a bit of a deal for the club, so a special price for tickets. And we went up, I think we were 41 of us. We came in and Connor, crazy as he is, had promised us a tour of the brewery before the festival. So about half an hour before the gates opened, he let us into the brewery, and his comment was fantastic because when it was sunny outside and it was kind of a dark inside, and then people just flowed into the brewery, and he was like, "Oh shit, are you that many?" Then he showed us around the brewery, let us try some beers straight from the tank. And it was a fantastic day. It was pissing down the rain the day before and was pissing down the rain the day afterwards. Yeah. But that day was sunny and nice. And the first hour I ended up working because Jeremy from Cask Beers Sweden, I think it's called now, or the old Jorvik. He got the wrong suitcase when he landed on Arlanda. So he saw me and said, "Oh, you know real ales. Could you stand in my bar for about 40 minutes?" And 2 hours and 40 minutes later, he came back from Arlanda with his bag. So I ended up working for the first 2 hours. But hey, nice. That's life. Yeah. It's fun.
You got to pump real ale.
Yes.
And drink them as well.
Not while working. You can't drink when you work.
Of course not. you sample it.
Yeah.
Sample
you got to sample it often to know it doesn't go bad.
Yeah. You know, every 10 minutes, change.
And then we were there all day. And some of us went out. The festival was closed down at 9, I think. And then some of us went into town. I actually stayed in Uppsala over the night, even though it's only an hour's train ride from
O'Neill's
Uppsala.
or
went to O'Neill's, and then I went with a couple of friends over to other places. But it was really
for those
really
of you
nice.
listening, O'Neill's is a pub in Uppsala that does cask ales and our Timothy Taylor Championship pub. So they always have
got
Timothy
cask
Taylor.
mark as well, and they know how to deal with proper real ales.
Yeah.
Should we try this beer?
Of course we should. Session IPA.
3.5.
Citra.
Citra IPA.
It's the hop.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's quite nice as well.
It's nice. It lacks in body, of course.
Yeah,
since it's
obviously.
But
it has that
it's
kind of grassy.
It's a real thirst quencher. Yeah. It's really fresh. It's really clean. And it's not a juicy IPA. This is really dry and crispy, very
still there.
southern West Coast style.
Yeah. It's kind of grassy, like
grassy. Lots of like lemongrass, lemon zest. Really fresh.
Could definitely drink this one as well. But as you say, lack body, but you know,
it's only 3.5%. So.
Can't blame the beef for that. I blame the ABV.
Per, you're making good beers.
Yeah. Shout out to Per.
We're gonna contact you.
At Beach Mountain Brewing.
Yeah.
Where they're from?
Väddö.
Väddö, oh, it's a Swedish brewery.
Yeah, it's in the archipelago, Swedish Stockholm archipelago.
So why Beach Mountain?
I haven't got a clue. We got to ask him.
We do.
We just have to go there and speak to him. And
maybe he lives at a mountain that's next to a beach. I don't know.
I don't know.
The most obvious answer.
You're just weird.
Yeah, I am. So what's the plan for the mid-season continuation of Beer Club?
Well, we're going to keep on doing what we're doing. I'm going to try to get more suppliers in to show off their stuff during the meetings. I haven't got one yet for the August meetings, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to sit today after we've done this podcast and try to contact a few of my contacts, so to speak, and see if they got a chance to come here for the 22nd and 23rd of August for our meetings. And then we're going to keep on doing it up until Christmas, and then I have to sit down and think about what I'm going to do with the beer club next year, and see what happens, because we don't have enough suppliers to have them here every meeting. But
take the wine suppliers as well.
But something will happen.
Yeah.
The beer club will still go strong, and we're growing. We're now up to about almost 150 members.
Yeah, there was a guy signing up the other day. He was super stoked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a beer club. Yes, you are.
And everyone gets this key. Have you got your key ring on you?
Of course I do.
Yeah. Everyone gets this key ring, which is also a beer opener. And I'm going to do a new one for every year, a new color for every year. So you can kind of collect them if you want to. You're going to use your opener right away. Because Rasmus was, as you might have noticed if you listened to the last podcast, in France on, the shift between June and July.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't have a recording equipment with me up to Uppsala.
Because I was doing an interview with Blue Coast Brewing Company, which those of you who listen to the podcast know, because you've already heard the episode with Robert Busch. It's a very
Swedish guy moved to France, started brewery.
Yeah, he's a really fun character, that guy. We had a really good time because we did like 15 minutes at the brewery, and then I ended up staying there for like another hour trying all this beer and got a little bit tipsy.
And you should have let the recording go, though.
I should have, yeah. So that's what I felt day after. I'm like, fuck, I needed more material. Like I felt that I could do so much more. So we ended up meeting each other again at a British pub, drinking pints and recording another podcast, which was great because we got to know each other a little bit more before we sat down the second time. This one was one of my favorites. I'm not sure if you're gonna like it. So it's an amber ale with chipotle and chili. Yeah. And the chili that he has in this is grown at his own house.
Okay.
So it's his own chili, but he bought the chipotle because that's difficult to make by yourself.
But it's chipotle and fresh chili, or is it? Yeah.
But it's not like the type. You're gonna try it. You know what I mean.
So if I die here now, you're gonna.
No, you're not gonna die. It's not that hard.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called piment fume, which is basically chili or something.
Piment means pepper, I think.
Something like that.
What's it called? Piment.
Fume.
Piment fume. Fumé.
Fumé.
Piment fumé. Smell of chilies, or I think. My French is really bad. So
and all their beers are bio. If somebody's interested in that stuff.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to you. Oh, you can smell the smoked chilies.
There's also a little bit of smoked malt in this one.
I like it. It's
a bit too cold now, so it needs a little temperature. But yeah, actually,
that's really nice.
It's clean. It's nothing. Nothing really is screaming like the chili. Is just
this bottle was warm about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. We forced.
A tip for you guys: if you want to cool your beers quickly, put them in a bucket of ice with salt. Because then
and ice.
And
ice. Yeah, water.
Ice, water, and salt, and then it
in a
We'll chill the beer.
Turkish yogurt buckets.
Doesn't have to be a Turkish yogurt bucket.
Could be any bucket.
You can use any bucket you want. If you
you.
can't find a Turkish yogurt bucket, use any bucket you want.
Or the Greek one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you like it?
yeah, that was nice. As I said, a bit cold now,
Yeah.
but I think it will temper quite fast.
Oh, it
That's
will.
nice. Huh? So, what are you gonna do? Because you're not coming with me to Bruskeville this time,
I know.
even though you're off.
Family goes first sometimes. Need
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
down and visit them. It's the last week the wife has as well on vacation. No, but you are going down there. But before
In exactly a week, I'll be in the
Yeah.
car on my way down.
Goddamn. But we are gonna actually meet somebody next Tuesday. On Tuesday.
Yeah, we're gonna record a podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're not gonna say with who, but
Owen, aren't we? No,
no,
okay.
not yet. But he's flying here all the way from the US just to get and sit down with beer bubbles. That's the only reason, I promise.
Yeah, and then he's going to Bruskeville.
So we're gonna do an interview with him then. Then we also have another interview planned up. We're just gonna set the date, which is an episode where we're gonna go super nerdy because it's about yeast.
Yeah. But this guy who's flying over in here, we met him first time last year at Bruskeville, and him and Rasmus hit off big time because he was here the day before, a couple of days before.
Yeah, the day before. Yeah.
And you poured him a Schwarzbier,
Yeah.
and he was going on about the pour of that Schwarzbier the entire weekend. He was like,
Yeah.
"This guy is the best in the world at pouring Schwarzbier." It's like,
Yeah, he still keeps mentioning that fucking pour. I'm like, that's just how we do
that's
it.
how we pour it.
Yeah. It's like, in America, you can't do that without equipment. I'm like, all right, well, learn how to pour them, I guess. It's going to be really fun to sit down with him again and meet him. It's been a while. But you're going to bring the equipment down to Bruskeville this year again, right?
Yes, I'm gonna. Well, you're not getting your hands on it this year
Nope.
or this time.
I won't be in a location where it's possible to do some podcasts as well. So.
But no, it's gonna be fun, and I'm really looking forward to Bruskeville every year. We'll see how much interviews and stuff. Bruskeville, for you guys who don't know it, is, in my opinion, one of the best festivals, beer festivals in the world. There's almost 100 breweries turning up from all over the world.
You don't get
I
time
saw
for
the
everybody.
lists the other day,
Oh.
and it's massive. And you're gonna kick yourself when you see that list.
I already kicked myself for Uppsala. I'm going to kick myself a little bit more after this one. So hopefully there's something close by in the
You might
autumn.
just grab a train and come down over the day.
Would be fun.
Yeah. Well, you got a ticket if you turn up.
I know I do. I know I do. I'll be quite far away, so it's...
The Bruskeville Festival is located in Helsingborg in southern Sweden, in Skåne. And I think it's the 6th or 7th year they're doing it now. And Marcus Hjalmarsson from Brewski is the one in charge of it. And besides being a great brewery, he's also a great guy. And that's why people turn up for this festival. It's
fantastic.
amazing.
It's so open. It's so friendly. It's just a great time. Everybody's enjoying themselves.
It was a bit too hot last year.
Oh, yeah, please. Tell me. It's
Especially on Saturday when we were both a bit hungover and sat in that tent. And the first thing I got was a mass of Pilsner for helping these guys at Omnipollo to open the gravity pole.
I was so jealous when I got there and I saw them. I'm like, I want that one too. Then on Sunday you fucked me over again when I was still drunk and you gave me that mead at, well, was it like 16% or something? Oh, well, maybe I should say brought me back to life. Is the right word for that.
And then you sat in a car for 6.5 hours without any air conditioning.
Oh, but it was worth it. I got to all the way to my front door during that trip.
Yeah.
So it was definitely worth it. Was something else I was going to mention, and that is next podcast we're recording, which will be in
Tuesday.
In a week, maybe, perhaps, say 6 days. In 6 days, something is done by then, and I'm gonna have you and our guest try it in the podcast. My beer is done on Tuesday.
Oh, cool!
I do think it doesn't have any off flavors. I'll see now during the bottle conditioning, because I tried it before I bottled it and it was tasting quite alright.
Oh, my little Padawan has grown up.
I brewed my first beer. I'm too late. I know. I'm very late on the puck, but I thought it was fun to give it a try. So yeah, you get to try it. I did a Kent Easting brown ale.
Nice.
So hopefully it turns out alright. So you're gonna try it?
I'm really looking forward to that. I know what styles you like, so
I'm gonna get trashed next episode. Having you and also like a brewer of that caliber trying to...
you think about this, think about that, think about no.
I regret my decision. Well, nobody remembers a coward, right?
No.
No, it's all good and fun. I did. Only reason I started brewing or tried to brew now is because I want to get a deeper understanding into the process by doing it myself, and
especially the fermentation. You've really gone nerdy on the yeast part or the fermentation part of brewing. Well, everything up until the fermentation process is chemistry.
Yeah.
And then it becomes biology.
Yeah. And it's in the hands of God, or so to speak.
In the hands of yeast.
In the hands of yeast. Yeah, it's that's a big world. But we're gonna do that in another episode.
I remember when Anders from Åre sent you this, because you asked him to send you something about yeast, and he sent you a PDF with how many pages?
No, it was like a Wikipedia page, but for yeast. So it's called milkthefunk.com. It's an old podcast as well, I think. Only did a few episodes, and it's also like a website or a blog or something. And that is a fucking rabbit hole. Because I started reading about Brettanomyces, and that page was like 200 plus 300 pages. And then there's this blue links everywhere taking you to another page to read about that specifically or that specifically. And it's just... I've spent many hours on that website just reading.
But it's fun. For you guys who are going to be at Bruskevall, Anders from Åre Bryg Company that we were just talking about, who gave him this link to the website. He's going to be at Bruskevall. Yeah. And he was actually in town 2 weeks ago, and we missed him.
No,
I thought he was going to be here for the entire weekend.
I met him the last day.
No, he was only here one day.
He and his wife ate dinner here at Akkurat.
Oh, they came back here after they've been at...
So they got here and they had dinner, so I served them, even though it wasn't my station, because I was in the bar. It's fun to serve him.
He really nags about when he has to work the floor. It's like, oh no, I hate it. But when someone turns up that he likes,
well, it's only
he doesn't mind running the floor.
It's only one table then, so it doesn't matter. But it's not my station.
There's nothing that's called it's not my station. That's bad service.
I know. I prefer being in the bar. You know that.
Yeah.
It's fun being. So you enjoy the beer?
It seems really good. It's going down. So what's your plans now? You're off for another week. You're going down to your family home down in Värmland?
No, I'm going to Eksjö in Småland, where my family lives nowadays.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought we were going to Värmland.
No, Småland.
Eksjö.
It's a little wooden town.
I was there in May.
It's a really beautiful town, especially during the summer. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. No, I mean, my plan is to keep working, I guess, here at Akkurat. It's, I feel like we have taken a little, the summer is quite mellow, it's quite easygoing, and then
now it starts up again.
So it's going to be a little bit more work.
I'll try to bring some samples with me from Bruskevall so we can see if we can find some new breweries.
And hats.
You got a new hat today. I've held on to that hat for almost a year to give it to him on a special occasion, but he saw it today, so I was like, oh, there you go.
It's a hat. It's a Sierra Nevada hat.
But I've got another hat that's waiting for you as well.
Ooh,
so
nice. I love
hats. You'll have to wait for that.
Oh, my wife is getting crazy at me. She's like, you have too many hats. Can you throw any of them away? No.
They're my hats.
My hats.
Guys, we've been doing this for half an hour now, and you have to get up and start working in the bar.
Work.
Yeah, I don't think it's any any reason for us to ask the final question? Oh, if you haven't changed your mind since last time. Okay, you're gonna die today. What you gonna drink?
I would actually take the Blue Coast Brewing Company Blonde right now in a pint, because that is fucking drinkable as fuck. And it's
Why didn't you bring one of those?
Because it's bergamot in it, and you don't like.
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh.
Or not bergamot. It's a fruit that reminds the flavor
flavors are
of
close to bergamot. Mm.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have enjoyed that one.
And I'll just go for Dales again. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and
don't forget to check out our Patreon
and our other social medias: Instagram, Facebook. What else? Our web shop.
Yeah.
But get our ugly mugs on a coffee mug.
And also, if you want to hear anything in the podcast, write to us.
Yeah,
Tell
definitely. If you want us to try some beers, come by.
Yeah.
As Krista did with these.
Yeah.
Drop them off. We'll try them in the podcast.
I also know I need to say this because we haven't answered that comment, and I found out that it was like 6 months ago somebody wrote it. We don't really use YouTube anymore, except like it automatically uploads the podcast.
Yeah.
It was a question about glasses, like go through different kind of beer glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could do that. There's so many that has done that. But I just want to say whatever you prefer, really. But there are some like glasses that are preferable to others.
Yeah, and depending on what style it is, it's also tradition, which is part of it. So some beers are poured in special glasses because it always has been.
Yeah,
or because some brewery realized that hey, we can make some money out of selling our glasses as well.
I mean, for Belgian beers, for example, I mean those glasses aren't the best for tasting beer.
Or for smelling at least.
For smelling it, yeah, exactly. So everything has like pros and cons, I guess, with glasses. So it's
like Weiss beer glasses have a special shape because you want the head to grow and become heavy and hard. Pilsner is traditionally drank out of steins because you could cool them in icy water and then since the glass is so thick, it will keep the beer cool for longer. So there's loads to say about glasses. We'll do something about glasses.
We're going to do an episode about that.
We're drinking out of these because they're quite close and you get quite a good nose.
And you can hold them easily, warm them up. So yeah. We'll do an episode about that. So sorry to the person that has written a comment that we haven't answered for 6 months.
Well, you're the one in charge of social media, aren't you?
Not YouTube. So if you want to get in contact with us, Instagram is the best way to do that, or Messenger at Facebook. That's the two easiest way to get a hold of us. Shall we wrap this up?
Yeah.
So,
guys, whatever you do, drink better beer.